Time is the one thing you can't get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose friends and meet new people. You can even lose motivation and find it later. But once time is gone, it's gone. Every second that slips away is a piece of your potential you'll never get to use again. That's why most people never reach greatness. It's not because they aren't talented or smart enough. It's because they keep wasting time. They keep letting hours drift away doing things that don't move them forward. They tell themselves, I'll start tomorrow, like tomorrow is promised. But every tomorrow that comes looks exactly like today because they never take action. You got 24 hours just like everyone else. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not about luck, not about opportunity. It's about how they use those 24 hours. While one person is watching another episode, someone else is studying. While one person is scrolling through social media, another is writing their goals down. While one person is talking about what they want, another is out there working for it. Success is built minute by minute, decision by decision. The truth is, every little distraction is costing you something big. Every time you say 5 more minutes, you're pushing your dreams 5 minutes further away. The problem is, too many people treat time like it's unlimited. They act like there will always be another chance, another opportunity, another day to get serious. But one day, that clock will run out. And when it does, all those wasted hours will become regret. You'll look back and wish you had done more, pushed harder, started sooner. You'll wish you had respected your time the way successful people do, because they don't just manage time, they protect it. They guard their hours like gold because they know that's where success is built. They understand that every second has a purpose, and if you don't give it one, the world will take it from you. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The perfect moment is now. Start today. Start small, but start, because every step forward counts. Don't tell yourself you'll begin when you feel ready. Start before you're ready. The act of starting is what creates momentum. Every time you choose action over delay, focus over distraction, progress over procrastination, you're building the life you say you want. You're proving to yourself that you're serious about success. You're showing life that you mean business. It's time to stop giving your energy to things that don't matter. Stop scrolling. Stop complaining. Stop wasting the most precious gift you've been given. You have everything you need right now. Your drive, your mind, your time. Use them, because one day you'll wish you had started sooner, but you'll never regret that you started now. Everybody wants to be great when they feel good. Everybody wants to grind when the energy is high, when the sun's shining, when everything feels right. But what separates those who make it from those who almost make it is what they do when they don't feel like doing anything at all. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. Motivation might light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Motivation is temporary, it's a spark. Discipline, though, that's the engine that keeps you moving even when the spark fades, because life doesn't care about your feelings. Your goals don't care that you're tired. Success doesn't care if you had a rough day. Discipline says, I'm doing it anyway. There are going to be mornings when the alarm goes off and everything in you says, not today. Your mind will tell you to rest. Your emotions will whisper that it's okay to skip one day, but those small decisions add up. Every time you give in, you're training yourself to quit. Every time you push through, you're training yourself to win. That's how discipline works. It's not about the big moments. It's about the small, unseen choices that define who you become. When you rely only on motivation, you become a prisoner of your mood. When you rely on discipline, you take control of your destiny. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you consistent when there's no applause, no results, and no one watching. The greats aren't special because they're always inspired. They're great because they keep showing up even when inspiration disappears. They've mastered the art of doing what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. They don't wait for energy, they create it through action. And the more you act, the stronger your discipline becomes. Discipline isn't punishment, it's power. It's a promise you make to yourself that you'll show up no matter what. It's the muscle that keeps you steady when your emotions want to take control. Every rep, every early morning, every late night, it's not just about the work. It's about becoming the kind of person who can be trusted with success. You have to stop waiting for the perfect wave of motivation. Stop depending on hype. It fades. What doesn't fade is your commitment. When you build your life around discipline, you build a foundation that nothing can shake. Because even when life throws storms your way, you've already trained your mind to stay locked in. You've already proven that you can show up tired, show up scared, show up unsure, and still give everything you've got. That's the secret. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing. Success is not emotional. It's habitual. The ones who make it aren't the ones who want it most. They're the ones who do it most. The day you stop relying on motivation and start relying on discipline is the day your life changes forever. At some point, you've got to stop blaming everything and everyone around you for where you are in life. You've got to stop pointing fingers at your past, your parents, your boss, or your circumstances. Because as long as you're blaming somebody else, you're giving away your power to change. The truth is, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you success. It's on you. And that's not something to fear. That's something to celebrate. Because when you realize your life is in your hands, that's when you finally take control. You can't rewrite where you started, but you can decide how the story ends. And that decision starts the moment you take ownership of your journey. It's easy to say, I can't because of them. It's easy to say, I would have made it if life had been fair, but life isn't fair. It's never been fair. The world doesn't reward excuses, it rewards effort. And while you're busy explaining why you can't win, somebody else with fewer resources, less talent, and more problems is out there grinding, making it happen anyway. The difference is ownership. When you own your story, you stop wasting energy on blame and start putting that energy into building something real. You stop focusing on what you don't have, start maximizing what you do have. You stop complaining about obstacles and start using them as training for greatness. Owning your journey doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It means you're ready to face what's hard without running. It means you stop waiting for the perfect setup and start creating your own opportunities. It means when things go wrong, you don't hide. You learn, you adapt, you grow. Because every setback is a lesson wrapped in pain. The people who succeed are the ones who are humble enough to admit their mistakes and strong enough to correct them. You can't grow while you're defending your excuses. You can only grow when you start taking responsibility for every part of your life, your effort, your mindset, your choices, your results. Once you start taking ownership, you'll see how much power you actually have. The same energy you were using to blame can be used to build. The same time you spent complaining can be used to create. The same story you thought was holding you back can become the story that sets you apart. You're not stuck. You're just scared to admit that the only thing in your way is you. But when you face that truth, you become unstoppable. You start walking differently. You stop waiting for doors to open and start building your own. So stop blaming, stop making excuses, stop handing your power to other people. Own your journey, because the moment you do, the moment you say, it's on me, everything in your life begins to change. Everybody wants to make it big, but very few people are willing to start small. They want the results before they've earned the rhythm. They want the celebration before they built the consistency. The truth is, success isn't built in one big leap. It's built through small, quiet, daily wins. The little things you do every day, even when they seem insignificant, are the very things that create momentum. That's how it works. One step, one action, one decision at a time. You don't climb a mountain by jumping to the top. You climb it one step at a time. And if you stop looking for shortcuts and start committing to those small wins, you'll realize that progress is already happening. The reason so many people quit isn't because they're weak. It's because they underestimate the power of patience. They want overnight success, instant recognition, fast results. But greatness doesn't work like that. Every empire was built brick by brick. Every legend started as a beginner. Every success story started with one small, consistent act of effort. You can't rush growth, but you can build it. And the beautiful thing about building momentum is that it starts small, but grows unstoppable. When you start showing up every day, even for 10 minutes, you're sending a message to yourself and the universe that you're serious. That consistency compounds. Before you know it, the small steps start turning into big strides. Momentum is powerful because it works in silence. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but it's building underneath the surface. Every workout, every late night of studying, every early morning of grinding, it's all adding up. You might not be there yet, but you're closer than you were yesterday. The danger comes when you stop, because once you lose momentum, starting again becomes 10 times harder. That's why you can't afford to take your foot off the gas. Even when you're tired, even when it feels slow, even when nobody's noticing, keep moving. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes. The same thing that once felt heavy starts to feel natural. That's when you know the momentum has shifted in your favor. Success isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about refusing to stop when it gets tough. It's about showing up for yourself when nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when progress feels invisible. Because those are the days that build your foundation. Every small win is proof that you're capable of more. Every completed task is another step toward mastery. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize it wasn't one big decision that changed your life. It was 1,000 small ones stacked together. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to make a massive move. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Do something small every day that moves you closer to your dream, because small wins become big victories and small steps lead to unstoppable momentum. The people you surround yourself with will either build you or break you. You can have all the talent, all the vision, all the drive in the world, but if your circle is full of talkers instead of doers, your growth will always be limited. You can't expect to rise while you're hanging around people who are comfortable staying low. Energy is contagious. If you spend your time with people who make excuses, eventually you'll start making excuses too. But if you're surrounded by people who grind, people who hold you accountable, people who dream as big as you do, you'll start to level up without even realizing it, because that environment will push you to match their standard. Too many people are trying to build something great in an environment that feeds average. They hang out with people who talk about what they want to do but never actually do it. They spend time around negativity, drama, gossip, and distractions, and then they wonder why they can't stay focused. You can't build a skyscraper on weak soil. You can't chase your purpose if you're surrounded by people who don't have one. Sometimes the hardest part of success isn't the work, it's walking away from people who aren't walking with you. And that doesn't mean you think you're better than them. It just means you're committed to a higher standard and you're no longer willing to settle for a circle that keeps you stuck. You've got to be intentional about who gets access to your energy. Protect your peace, protect your mindset. Be around people who challenge your excuses instead of agreeing with them. Be around people who talk about ideas, growth, purpose, and legacy. When you're in a room where everyone is grinding, everyone is focused, everyone is hungry, you can feel it. That kind of energy forces you to grow. It makes you uncomfortable in the best way possible, because you can't stay the same around people who are constantly improving. They'll make you question your limits, not because they doubt you, but because they believe you can do more. And here's the truth. Sometimes you'll have to walk alone for a while until you find the right circle. That's okay. Silence and solitude can be powerful teachers. It's better to walk alone in the right direction than to walk with the wrong crowd toward nowhere. Don't let loneliness make you reconnect with people who kept you stagnant. The people meant to be in your life will understand your growth, not resent it. They'll push you to be your best, not guilt you for changing. Your circle matters. It shapes your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your future. So if you want to build success, surround yourself with builders. Be with people who make you better, who remind you what's possible, and who won't let you quit when things get hard. Because your environment will always either feed your dreams or starve them. Choose wisely. At the end of the day, success isn't about how much you made, it's about how much you mattered. Too many people are chasing lifestyle when they should be chasing legacy. They want to look successful instead of becoming it. They spend hours trying to impress people who don't even care, buying things they don't need, living for likes and validation instead of purpose. But when it's all said and done, none of that will mean anything. The cars, the clothes, the status, they fade. What lasts is the impact you leave behind, the people you inspired, the lives you touched, the difference you made with the time you were given. You only get one life, one shot, one chance to turn your time into something meaningful. Every moment you waste on things that don't matter is a moment stolen from your purpose. You can't rewind it. You can't buy it back. Every hour is an investment. So where are you putting yours? Into distractions or into your destiny? Because time will either build your dream or bury it. The choice is yours. The greatest tragedy isn't dying. It's dying with potential still inside you. It's leaving this world without ever using what you were given to make it better. Legacy is about contribution, not consumption. It's about creating something that outlives you. When you start thinking about your legacy, you start living differently. You stop wasting time on petty things. You stop chasing temporary pleasure and start building permanent value. You begin to understand that success isn't about being remembered for what you had, but for what you gave. Maybe you'll never be famous. Maybe your name will never be on a billboard. But if your work, your words, your energy change even one life, then you've done something real. That's what it's all about, using your time to create impact. Because legacy isn't built by accident, it's built by intention. Every day, you're either adding to it or ignoring it. You have to ask yourself, when people talk about you years from now, what will they say? Will they say you were focused, determined, someone who gave their best? Or will they say you talked about your goals but never acted on them? Because that's what this comes down to, what you do with your time right now. Every action is a brick in your legacy. Every decision is a step toward how you'll be remembered. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present, consistent, and committed to something bigger than yourself. Stop chasing lifestyle. Start building legacy. Because your time is limited, but your impact doesn't have to be. Use your minutes to make a difference. Use your energy to create change, and use your life to build something that will still speak long after you're gone.